Hello, my readers, and welcome to the Disney's 100 Christmas Advent Calendar. We're on day 13, and it's Huey, Dewey, and Louie's Christmas Wish. It was a few days before Christmas, and brothers Huey, Dewey, and Louie were in town, looking eagerly in the store windows. "Wow! Look at that shiny toboggan!" Dewey cried. He pulled his two brothers over to a brightly lit window. "We sure could have a lot of fun with that if we got it for Christmas," sighed Huey. But they had already written their letters to Santa Claus. "We could ask Uncle Donald," Dewey suggested. "But we haven't exactly been the most well-behaved boys in the world." On the way back from town, the brothers thought of ways they could be good at home. "We could clear the snow from the sidewalk," Louie began. "Make our beds," continued Dewey. "And even wash the dishes," Huey finished. They raced home to get started. Later that day, Donald was amazed when he looked out the window and saw his nephews shoveling the snow. And after supper, he was even more astonished to see them clear the table and do the dishes. In the evening, the boys sat quietly and read their storybooks. Donald was confused. Normally the boys were rowdy and loud. "They're either sick or planning some mischief," Donald said to himself. A while later, Donald padded softly upstairs and poked his head in the boys' room. "This is too good to be true," he whispered. Huey, Dewey, and Louie were sound asleep. The next morning, Donald went to wake the boys, but their beds were neatly made and they were nowhere in sight. As he walked into the kitchen, Donald found his nephews waiting for him with breakfast already on the table. After breakfast, Donald got ready to head into town to get Daisy a Christmas present. "Could we please go into town with you today, Uncle Donald?" Dewey asked. "Well, I guess so, since you three have been behaving," said Donald. The boys chatted merrily on the way into town. Donald didn't realize that his nephews were steering him toward a certain store. "Uncle Donald, did you ever go tobogganing when you were small?" Huey asked. "Why, I almost grew up on the slopes tobogganing," Donald replied. Now they were in front of the store window. Donald continued, "It was a great sport, and—" "Look at that swell toboggan, Uncle Donald!" the three boys cried at once. "Aha! So that's it," said Donald. "No wonder you've been behaving. You want me to get you that toboggan for Christmas. Well, that's out. Look at the price." And with that, he shooed them past the store and down the street. As they neared home, Donald started feeling a little sorry for the boys. "Now, boys," he told them, "your sled is still in good shape. You can have lots of fun with that." Slowly, Huey, Dewey, and Louie walked over to where their old sled leaned against a tree. "Okay, Uncle Donald, but a toboggan sure would be nice," they said sadly. That night, when the boys had gone to bed, Donald felt bad that he had been so hard on his nephews. He wanted to buy them the toboggan as a Christmas surprise, so he rushed down to the store. However, when he got there, the toboggan was gone. Donald asked the sales clerk about it, but he told Donald that it had been sold, and it had been the last one in town. Donald felt miserable as he trudged home. "Now what will I do?" he asked himself. "The boys didn't ask Santa Claus for a toboggan, and I can't find one anywhere." The next morning, the boys raced into town to look for another toboggan. When they arrived at the store, the toboggan was gone. "Hooray for Uncle Donald!" they shouted. "He got it for us. Now we have to keep on being good." But Donald hadn't found a toboggan for them, even though he had looked everywhere. On Christmas Eve, Donald tossed and turned in his sleep, dreaming of toboggans. On Christmas morning, Donald jerked upright in bed. He could hear Huey, Dewey, and Louie shouting excitedly. He got up and raced downstairs. When he got to the living room, he found his nephews looking out the window. "Look, Uncle Donald!" they shouted. Outside on the snow was a beautiful toboggan. Strange little hoof prints led away from it, and written in the snow was a message. Santa Claus had seen what good boys they'd been and left them a special present. Huey, Dewey, and Louie jumped up and down excitedly. Together they all ran outside to go for a Christmas morning ride. Merry Christmas, Huey, Louie, and Dewey, from Santa. I love it when stories have a happy ending. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can be notified when the next video comes out. And we'll see you tomorrow.